Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR. Today we're talking about another zombie shooter. They seem to be, popular on the Quest.
Love me killing some zombies.
Yeah, especially a classic like this. How do you not love just, blasting some zombies? So today we're talking about Death Horizon Reloaded, made by Dream Dev Studio, which is a little studio out of Ukraine. They seem to have unfortunately been a little affected by, the current war situation there.
A little might be an understatement.
I saw it in, I think, late February. They had posted that they wanted to have some updates coming, but they weren't sure how delayed it was going to be. But thankfully, I saw maybe like 10 days ago, 20 days ago, something like that. It seems like that they're getting their updates going again, and they're back at work. So
Yeah, they somehow managed to. I mean, and
huge
honestly,
props to them.
would anybody have faulted any dev for not
No,
putting out an upgrade during a war? But
no,
if that's what they were able to do, then that's
yeah.
friggin' nuts.
The update hasn't come yet, but they're posting info about it. They're like, we're still hard at work. So, I mean, huge props to them,
Yep.
All the best to Dream Dev Studio. I mean, this is a classic game as well. It came out, check this, September 26, 2019. This is a game that's on the Quest. It was on the Oculus Go. I'm pretty sure it was on, like, even some older, like, those cardboard Samsung Gear VRs. So,
Dude, this one's a legit OG.
yeah,
I mean, there's been a few that we've done, but
and
this one,
there's,
yeah,
it's an OG, like you said, and they're still pumping out updates.
it's
Like,
only gotten in. We've owned it for more than a year.
one of the first ones that we bought.
Yeah, it's like there's been progression of seeing the development in the time that we've actually owned it.
Yeah.
From when we first ever got it to like where it's at now, it's like, wow, it's like originally I don't know if it could hold its own in today's world, whereas today it can hold its own in today's world.
Absolutely. And before I get too carried away on it, it's $19.99 on the official Oculus Quest store. It's rocking a 4.3 overall rating with 2,897 total ratings and 1,714, written reviews. So it's a popular game. It's a game a lot of people on the Quest have experienced. And man, I mean, it's single player, it's co-op. The single player, there's a campaign for it. And the co-op is pretty much the same campaign, but without the story element.
Yeah, you are. I kind of like was thinking of a way to describe, and I'm like, basically, you both are the story.
Yeah.
Whereas, in the single player, you just get the narrative to kind of tell you what's.
Yeah, definitely if you had played the single player campaign and then you go do the multiplayer, you're gonna know where things are, but it's not gonna be as confusing as whereas like we played the game and we did the multiplayer first.
Yeah, co-op was what we wanted it for.
Yeah, that's why we got it. We love co-op games, especially when we first got our Quest. Like we said, this was one of the first ones we got. Yeah, we're doing the co-op, and it was like it was a lot of fun. It's a zombie shooter. There's a lot of different guns in it. You get more guns as the game progresses.
Secret rooms.
There's secret rooms
Like
with
20
ammunition,
different secret rooms.
different levels. You can dual wield guns,
You
but
can climb.
but there was no story to me, so I didn't know what was going on. But in the single player, there is a story, and again, it's the same levels and everything. Or you know what? I feel like the single player might be a little bit longer, but I don't know if that's because
You're alone.
yeah, and it's taking me longer versus when it's me and you. It's like bring the heat, and we're just laughing, having a good time. Um, but yeah, the game's good, man.
Yeah, no. One of the standout features of it is like the interactability. Is that a word? With different everything around you.
Yeah.
It's like you can open cabinet drawers. You can. I mean, if there's a coffee mug, you can throw it at the zombie. So
Yeah,
I mean,
there's melee weapons, and there's a lot of different melee weapons.
dude, a shit ton, and they're still coming out with more weapons and stuff.
They have like these. They're kind of explosive grenades, but
Oh, the shake cans.
yeah, you can throw them. I usually throw them and then shoot them, and they
They
boom,
confuse
big-
me
Yeah,
because sometimes they don't seem to work, but I don't blame the can. It's weird. You like pick it up and you shake it, and it has a little bar that goes to
You
red.
don't always need to even shake it for it to start to fill up. Sometimes I'll just pick it up and I'll see it go do 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 do, and then like
Basically a bomb, I think. So
yeah. But then theoretically you throw it,
and it blows up.
but most of the time I throw it, it doesn't explode. I don't know if
But
I'm
when
doing
it
something
blows
wrong.
up, you can clear a room.
Yeah. So I'm telling you what I've been doing, especially in the single players. I'll throw it, and then I'll let them get close to it, and then boom, then I'll shoot it.
Shoot it.
Because if you shoot it, it explodes too. So, the single player story too, it's like you go in there and you're in a room, and then there's a guy in a TV, and he's like, oh, you're alive. And then, as you progress through the game, he's talking to you more and more in each one of these little like check room save points, which you'll get ammunition, change your guns, your loadout, everything like that. And I don't want to give spoilers to the story or anything like that, but pretty early on into it, I was like, I don't think this guy's the nicest guy ever. He wasn't happy that I was running through more and not staying put. He's like, all right, now stay where you are. And then like you go to the next room, he's like, oh, you think you're smart, huh? Think you're funny? And it's like, oh, this guy doesn't seem to have good intentions. And so that's all I'll say on that regard. But so the story's not, super in depth with, 10 different characters, dialogue, everything like that. But
You don't need it though.
No, there's enough.
You definitely don't need it.
No, I agree with that. There's enough. It's enough to keep you entertained throughout it.
They could have gone in deeper into like, a thicker story plot or whatever and done cutscenes and all that crap. But I don't think as a whole the game needs it at all. So
No.
I mean that's pretty cool. And you're fighting in the, I had to write it down because I knew I'd never remember, the Horizon Scientific Research Laboratory.
Yeah.
And you're fighting against the T12 virus.
Yep.
People get affected with it. Everything always begins with a T, doesn't it?
Yep, and it's funny what games do
T12.
use zombies and don't use zombies. They're much more open about it.
Somebody's making bank off the name zombie apparently because nobody's really wanting to use it. But they're, as far as my brain is concerned, the T12 virus sufferers are zombies.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting this game because, all right, so you can climb almost anything. No, I actually won't say that because most of the walls you can't. But there's, like you said, there's secret rooms.
Yeah, don't go telling anybody where to
find them. Yeah, but a lot of times with a secret room, you need to climb a little bit.
Absolutely.
And there's, let's say maybe a rope. You can usually tell what you can climb. It might be like a barricade area.
If it's interactable, I would say check it out. Cause, and if it, I mean, I won't give a spoiler, but if you can interact with something and it seems to lead somewhere, then go there.
Yeah. We found
secret rooms are worth it.
Yeah, we found some cool ones, and it'll be cool. Like you'll get one, will say, all right, 1 of 20 found, 2 of 20 found, and so
kind of gives you that incentive to really want to push through
through the story and just explore it.
Yeah, the secret rooms to me was a nice touch.
Well, okay, I didn't
because there's always good shit in there
and ammunition. I didn't have as much ammo problems in co-op, but in single player there were some times where I was like, dude. I mean, like, I'm screwed.
Here's what I've noticed. In the co-op, you can rely on your buddy, because we've done it so many times.
Yeah, hey, I'm out of ammo, cover me.
Can you cover me? And you'd be like, yeah, I got you for a good couple of minutes. And then you can hold back the shit, maybe even go to the next level or the next area. And, your buddy we're in single player. Every bullet counts in this game. This is not one of those zombie games where you're going to go in there just firing lead around and taking out.
No, headshots are important.
Holy crap, dude. That was the first thing when we first got it. Way back when I was like, oh, okay. So you can run out of bullets in this game?
Very easily, too.
And then I'm left with like a piece of metal, rebar or pipe.
Or a baseball bat.
A wrench or a coffee cup or something. I'm like, you're dead.
So those secret rooms in single player are big because of that. Because you might be low on ammo, and I've had zombies chasing me, and I'm like, oh shit, secret room. I got no ammo, and I climb, and they're all. This is no spoilers. I mean, if anything, this is going to be helpful. I'm not going to tell you where the secret rooms or where our favorite secret room is, which is so freaking cool that they put one there. But it's always an event. So like you climb an event. I guess that's helpful. If you see a vent, it's going to be a secret room. So look out for, like, interactable vents. So I've had zombies chasing me out of ammo. And I'm like, dude, it's a vent. And I get in there, and I sometimes you go through, like, a little maze in there. Mm-hmm. And then I pop down, and I get some ammo, and I go, it's showtime, baby. Sometimes you'll get a new gun in there. Sometimes you'll get an attachment. And that's the thing, too. So there's different guns in it. There's a good amount. There's, like, a regular handgun. It's pretty much a Desert Eagle, but they call it a Death Eagle.
Again, somebody owns Desert Eagle,
They have a couple different kind of assault rifles. They have a shotgun. Yep. They have a Uzi. pretty much an Uzi. So
yeah, like the M16. They have your pretty standard, your expectable, what you'd expect, I guess, if you were going to kill zombies. They arm you with.
And as you progress through the story, and when you get into the secret rooms, there's like these tubes, and you'll grab it, and it'll say like, Death Eagle data found, which coincidentally, then I go into the safe rooms, the next checkpoint, and
guess what's there?
That gun seems to always be there. So that's what that's what seems to happen with that. So the secret rooms are an additional bonus in that standpoint. But I mentioned attachments, so you might find a flashlight, a grip,
a new sight,
and
extended clip.
Not every gun can take every upgrade either. So I usually pimp out my Death Eagle first. Like I like to put the sight and the
Death Eagle.
Yeah, that's my number one I use, man. Because
that thing's a powerhouse.
It's a powerhouse, and I like to aim headshots with it. So
well, technically, you're throwing a 50 caliber round out. So
boom! You use the regular pistol. You might not kill the zombies with one headshot.
They don't give your guy like shoulder fatigue, because there's no way you could be doing that like constantly. And again, you can two-hand, so you can have two Death Eagles going.
And there's some similarities in this game that you see in other games, and there's some things in it that I'm like, all right, they did first. I don't know if and there's some that I'm like, I don't know who did first either. Like, so there's a variety of different zombie types, and the zombies actually seem pretty similar to the other zombie game, Drop Dead. That we reloaded.
There's some carryovers, it seems like.
Like that big giant zombie is pretty similar. Then there's a spitter zombie as well. So I'm like, I don't know which one of them did it first, to be technical, but there's some zombie variety with some, similar ones that you might see in another Oculus game. One of those namely being the spitter.
I would say graphically these zombies look a lot better than the...
Yeah, absolutely. But it's also a different vibe. That one was much more playful.
Yeah, different game.
So besides like the similarity in the enemy type, that I'm not sure who took the lead first. One big one that I've noticed is I love After the Fall. After the Fall is an amazing game, and it seems like that they may have taken a little homage to this, because in between the rooms, you have these cards that that's how you progress.
Your key cards, your electronic key card.
It feels like maybe After the Fall got some influence from that gameplay element of this game.
I mean, it's possible. I don't see why it couldn't be possible.
Or it could just be groupthink. And
if I look at the age of this game and then a lot of the other zombie type games I've played, it's almost, one could say, hey, maybe there was something to pull a little from some of the similarities of the zombies and the behavior. Zombies, I don't,
and I
T12 suffers.
I can't even. I don't say it negatively either. I wouldn't even consider it like stealing feet, because like VR's so early.
There's some similar things that you've noticed.
Yeah, and it's like maybe it's not even an influence. Maybe it's just similar think. Pretty simple concept going on there. It's possible for two people to think those unrelated, and it's also possible to play homage to the people that you got influence of. It's very possible that they saw that as a feature and went, oh, that's awesome.
Or it's just also what gun loadouts do you offer? It's like, okay, this is a pretty standard, it could be similar to that too, where that's kind of what the expectation people would want. Well, I need some sort of checkpoint.
Yep. So yeah, exactly. It's possible that it's just a simple concept that many people would come up with, on their own. But I just figured it's worth noting as well. It's, for a game in 2019, it's like, wow, I don't know, playing it today, it holds up.
Dude, I was going to say, but even by today's standards, that's what's wicked cool, is it's holding its own.
Yeah.
It's like we've been playing it pretty vigorously. And I'm amazed, because I remember when we used to play it a lot, over a year ago.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, this game is really it's gotten better.
Yeah.
It's gotten a lot better. And I love not many games back then were doing the climbing element in their game.
No,
I mean, of course, Pop 1, that's one of their holy grails.
Yeah.
But for a zombie game to do this,
it's
like, whoa. And you can shoot, if you're climbing a rope, you can shoot zombies just don't drop your gun.
Yeah. One time, you had died in co-op. So it was on me to finish.
Get to the checkpoint.
Yeah. And then you would revive back. I was inside a vent because I was out of ammo,
Oh, I remember this.
and all I had was my melee weapon, and there was like 4 or 5 zombies left. So I was hanging out like half out of the vent, just swinging my arm side to side, and they couldn't get me.
No, dude, it worked.
But you weren't in the room, so you couldn't see what was happening. So all you heard was the occasional.
Nah, dude. I was standing right outside the door. I remember this so good.
You kept being
I
like,
was standing right
"What's
outside the
coming in?"
door. I couldn't see in the room because I was in like the main hallway, and I could hear you in the vent because that's what's good. The sound effects in this game are really top notch.
Yeah,
like especially if someone's in a vent, you freaking hear them. Like
Somebody sticking their hand in squash. That's what it sounds like killing the zombies with the melee.
take that mac and cheese mixture and dump a big fat spoon in it. But I see the row of zombies coming in the hallway into the room you're in, and I'm like, dude, I can't see you, but when you're dead, you just see whatever spot you lay dead in. And I hear the banging of the metal, and like I hear the vent, like what would in real life would be like denting and undenting. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, you can hear the person crawling around up there.
And then I hear and I see the blood splatter go right across the floor, the doorway. Oh, I was dying, dude. I'm like, there's more coming, but you just kept swinging. You took them all out that way.
Yeah, it was freaking awesome. I was like, I'm remembering that. If I'm ever
The
in
zombies
trouble,
know where you are. There is no hiding in this game, by the way.
but you can hide in a vent. They can't get you in the vent.
They can't get you in the vent. They can't get you on a rope, but they know where you are.
Mm-hmm.
There's no, like, if you're crawling across the vent to go from one room to another, some shit, they're gonna start coming into that room.
And there's times that you need to climb or
That
jump.
was hysterical. I wish you had that recorded.
That was one of my favorite moments in the game.
I wish I could have seen it really, but the point of view, and then when I saw the blood splatter across
it
the
might have
doorway,
been
was
better.
dying.
Might have been better from your point of view.
Yep.
To be honest with you. But there's times in the game that you need to climb, you need to jump in order to progress. To the next part of the mission. So like you have, some of the missions are really creative in the layout.
For its time, I put it ahead of its time.
Because the key cards, it's not like you'll have the same key card the whole game. You might have to drop your key card and grab a different color one.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you walk into a room and there's no freaking key cards for your color. You might have to climb or jump or go navigate somewhere. And eventually it's going to pop you back into that room, but you're going to have collected the other key card, and now you can advance. Like, yeah, the game's...
The exploration part of the game is crucial.
And the combat.
And it's fun.
The combat's fun, man. There's a couple times in...
Combat's... But again, it's like, ammo to zombie ratio. You got to be real... I don't care how much ammo they leave around. It's never enough.
We had some real good laughs playing co-op. And the single-player story, again, it's not like a super in-depth story, but it was fun, too. Of course, I have more fun, like any game, playing co-op, but damn, it was fun.
Oh, yeah. I got nothing but love for this studio with this game. It's like they've held my interest for over a year, and it's like that's pretty damn good.
And they're still pumping away at it.
That's why. It's like now they did the weapon upgrade and
the story's 4 chapters.
Manual reload.
Yeah, there's 4 chapters in the story, but the next update that they're working on that they're posting about is chapter 5. And they've added more, I guess accessibility settings. There's walk, there's teleport, there's I use auto reload because
me too.
Just like after the fall, baby, when there's a bunch of zombies coming at me,
I don't have time to reload.
I don't really care about that realism in that moment for this genre. My attitude with the zombie games, they're zombies.
I like
I don't need it to be realistic when there's zombies. It's already not realistic. So I'm happy to automatically reload.
Theirs is just the put it in your holster.
Yep, that's how you reload with the auto reload. But then they do have a manual reload option if you do prefer that. So I mean, they got some accessibility options, I'll say there, and in the story mode. Unfortunately, these challenges aren't available for co-op. I wish they were, because that would increase the amount that me and you did more co-op. But they have, I think like 7-8 different.
Oh, in the single player.
It's
not even funny.
To change the story mode a little bit, in the sense it might say that everything's dark and you only have a flashlight. And then there's a leaderboard for that as well, for like who got the highest score throughout the play. Like that. One of the challenges is a speed run. Mm-hmm. I think somebody glitched it to get the first place.
2 seconds.
That's unless there's something in the first room that you can do to instantly beat the game that I haven't found yet.
Yeah,
Because
start
sometimes,
it.
well, sometimes games have those Easter eggs where it's like, they drop you in this.
2 seconds.
Yeah, just turn. Like sometimes I've seen games where it's like, the objective of the game is to, I don't know, let's say walk down that way. That's the first quest. But if you turn around and walk the other way, you instantly beat the game. It's like a little Easter egg. So I don't know if there's
2 seconds.
There has to be, or he did something.
It takes longer than that to take a key card out and put it to a door. It takes like 3 seconds for the door to open.
Yeah. So,
How the hell you finish a whole game? And
so yeah, there's a speedrun challenge, but I don't know what's happening with the leaderboard there. Somebody want to DM me how to beat the game in 2 seconds.
Tell you what happened. One of the devs was like, oh, "Okay, I did it in 2 seconds.
I'll forever hold the first."
Clickety click click.
I don't know what happened, but yeah, there's a lot of different challenges like that. So
no, they do one where the zombies they're invisible.
Yeah,
you don't you don't see them.
See, that's why I wish these challenges were available for.
Dude, the list
co-op.
of challenges they give is stupid.
I think it's like 8, 9, maybe something like that. 7, 8, 9, something.
Yeah,
like
no. When I read the full list when they had dropped it, I was like, this is nuts.
Yeah,
because I'm not gonna lie, I'm like half of them I'll never do.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I don't need that in my life. But
yeah. Well,
the other half are for single player, definitely.
Here's the thing, though. Actually, when we go in, we do a co-op room. It lets me pick which chapter we were going to do, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4. And then there is a tab where it lists the challenges, but there's no way to select them.
It's for single only.
Yeah, so maybe I'm doing something wrong in the sense that I can't figure out how to select the challenge for co-op, but I've clicked plenty in there. I can't figure it out, But sometimes I'm slow, though.
They're obviously geared up for maybe the ability to...
It could be that in a coming update, maybe it'll be.
But since there is like some differences between story and co-op, that's probably what it really would be. If it was the same exact experience, it would probably be wicked easy to do. But since there is a difference of experience,
I don't know if there is.
There's a little.
Well, in the terms of like, the guy talking to you
from start to finish,
everything like that. That definitely. I mean, because in co-op, you could speed run through the break rooms faster than you could.
Speed run in 2 seconds.
Faster than you would in the story where the guy's talking to you and you're not opening the door yet in that moment. But yeah, no, like check this, dude. It's a game that came out in 2019, and if I saw tomorrow that the update for Chapter 5 was out, I'm playing it.
We're playing it. No,
3 years later. Granted, we owned it since 2020. But it's a 3-year-old game, and an update drops tomorrow. I'm playing it. That's huge.
Here's the thing: it's never digressed. It's only just gotten better, and that's hats off to a studio. Because I always mentally think like, all right, at what point in the game do you just kind of go, let's take everything we've learned from that game, and we'll just make a new one.
Yeah, we're ready for
we'll
the next.
do the part 2.
Mm-hmm.
So it's intriguing to me that they just continue to take what they have and just tighten it up and make it better. And how do we make the graphics better? How do we make the gameplay better? How do we give them better guns?
Look, even co-op was something that, we got to experience it when we had first gotten it, but it's not something that was originally in the game.
Man, no, but co-op for this, when they did it, I don't think there was a ton of co-op games.
Like a bunch of co-op.
There wasn't a ton of, like, especially zombie games. I think it was just this and that.
The Drop Dead.
Mm-hmm. I don't believe there was anything else. So it's like
Arizona Sunshine.
Yeah, touche,
yeah.
Okay, so there was 3.
Yeah, you got to give props to the OGs. It seems like that those 3.
I don't know why that one slips my mind so much too.
Because now there's After the Fall, and it's like it's funny because After the Fall is kind of like, if After the Fall feels like a manifestation of all 3 of those into like the newest of zombie games.
With the Ice Walkers,
right? The Snowbreaker, whatever. But
the Freezy monsters,
the Freezies, Snowies. Yeah, but dude, 2022, and this game's holding up. I'm having a blast. I'm really glad we revisited it because we actually took up. We had played it for a while when it first came out. We had played it a little bit more, but we kind of took a decent break off of it, just reviewing all these different games. And we're like, dude, we never. Remember that game that we were playing?
We never talked about that.
We haven't talked about it. I was like, oh shit, we never talked about Death Horizon. Let's go.
Let's play it again.
And it was better than I remembered.
Oh my god, dude, most definitely.
And it was good back then. So, man, hats off to...
If this game came out tomorrow as is, having never come out, and they had the $19.99 price tag. I don't think anybody would be upset about it.
Yeah.
It'd be like, wow, this is a really fun game.
Yeah.
This is really good. And the fact that you get kind of a story mode, that's kind of cool.
In the co-op too,
Yeah,
you
and
know,
it's not like you said, it's not heavily weighted.
No.
It's not a down your throat story.
The guy talking to you through the TV, but you actually do get some lore of what's going on and everything like that. So,
yeah.
you know, and I'm a huge sucker for any game with a cooperative campaign or co-op modes.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'm sad when co-op's just a game mode, like a horde mode or something like that. You know, we have a Blast for Contractor survival mode, don't get me wrong, but
That's one of my favorites. That's actually become one of my favorites.
But I love co-op story modes, you know, where we can just progress through.
It's rare to me. I don't know, maybe it's not, but it seems rare for co-op story.
And it's my best experience. So I was, you know,
usually co-op is quote unquote multiplayer, free for all shit,
yeah,
or, you know, capture the flag.
Yeah. Those type of game modes. Whereas this is much more. It feels like a campaign, even if there's no story attached to the multiplayer one. So I have a big appreciation for that.
Hey, you don't have to give me a story to put me in a room, and when I walk out of it, I seemingly have picked up a gun or whatever, and now there's bad shit heading my way. I'll figure it out. I got it. I need to get rid of those people.
And like all VR co-op games, we've had some hysterical moments playing this game. Like
yeah.
I said, though, the sitting in the vent whacking thing.
The vent one is hands down the best one yet.
There's been a couple times that we'll open up the door and the zombie will be right freaking there, and it's kind of like a little jump scare for a second. And then we back up and the door shuts again.
Yep.
And we're all right, let's open the door. Then we open it, and just the intensity. It's funny.
Because in co-op, you got to synchronize your
card scanner.
Your card keys together.
Yep.
You each have your own pad. Single player, obviously. I remember
One time you got locked
out.
in,
yeah, I got locked out.
And we had to be like, all right, are you putting it up yet? Are you ready? 3? We couldn't see each other, but we had to do it on the other side.
Oh, man.
Oh, that was funny. So the game's got some good freaking moments. You know, somebody's dead, and they're scared. They're out of ammo. It's just, I'm laughing. So it's a good time. I wish that, just to add to it, that they had the option for you to have your meta avatars.
Yeah, you had mentioned that before.
I think
I think it would be hysterical.
Oh my!
Especially since summer,
God.
Like my guys get the nice suit on. I think.
Dude, I would piss myself laughing seeing our meta avatars running through the co-op in this. It would be such a good time, and it's cool because, like, I'm gonna lie, man, say it all the time. A little bit of a pussy with horror games and shit. They're like, even playing this game Home Alone single player story, I was like, meh. I like doing co-op more, you know.
No, there's.
You know?
I was gonna say there's a couple of parts in
like
single player that like
the atmosphere and the music of it, everything.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know.
I'm not comfortable. Like there's some in single player I've done at certain levels where I knew I was gonna die.
Yeah,
and it's like I
just don't
kind of wish I was dying with somebody to know I was gonna die or die with me. Because this is going to end terribly.
But never in the co-op did I have any fear or scare.
No, I was freaking laughing.
Comical. So it's cool to see the difference. So if they let you have your meta avatar in co-op, oh my God, I would have a blast with it.
Yeah, I think it would take away from the whole
scare of it.
You know, Horizon Scientific Research Laboratory T12 virus.
I think it would be cool, but I can see why they wouldn't.
Only you have not been bitten.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even about being bitten. Because they'll bite you and you're dead.
It's infected.
You gotta get infected.
Even when you load in and the potentially ally, potentially evil guy is on the TV the first time, he's like, "A survivor? You're alive?" And the super quiet, like, you know.
Yeah, the tones used right from the get go of the host.
Yeah.
Kind of leaves things to be open-minded.
Yeah, well, that's why.
Like, in what way did you mean that?
Yeah, in my initial impression, the first thing that he said to me when he said that, I was like, I don't trust this dude. Why are you safe? Where are you?
Yeah.
Who are you?
Why don't you just come and get me? And
in fact, who the fuck am I? Where am I? How did I get here?
Why am I here, and why do I have to? Why don't you give me all the ammo at once and not, hand scatter it around like you
Yeah, and here's the thing: ammo's not ammo in this game because there's different types of guns. There's pistol ammo. There's
Different
assault
ammo,
rifle ammo.
shotgun
There's
ammo.
shotty ammo. Yeah, baby.
So you can be loaded. This happened to me. I was like, I was loaded up on shotgun ammo, but had no shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this isn't.
I don't like using the shotgun.
And you're limited to space, so you can put a melee weapon on your back, which is kind of cool.
Doesn't take up a gun spot.
No, and then you can put your M16 across your chest, and you can have two pistols. So it seems like you're armed to the gills.
But you
but
just
it's
gotta
like,
pick.
man,
You got to pick between assault rifle or shotgun, though.
you better watch that ammo.
So I usually go with assault rifle instead of shotty.
Yeah, I like the shotty. It's just the fact it's a pump action, so you got to keep.
Well, and you get more shots out of the assault rifle too.
But close range,
Yeah, you can clear. Remember one time we were shooting the wall with it in the checkpoint room before one of the times we were just about to stop playing. So we're like, let's check out the spread on it. And like, dude, like it was so many bullet holes from one shot.
Oh yeah, close range. It's gonna take out
A couple of zombies
easily,
potentially, depending on where you place it. So
my problem is just the whole like pumping it in panic when you need. If it was like the M10 in Pop 1 where you could just fire off 6 shots, semi-automatic. Wham.
Yeah, but pump every time it does. Yeah.
No. Because
Especially
usually what happens is I'll take out one, I'll take out another, but you know how the zombies are. They freaking swarm on you.
Some of them are tough.
And you got to look behind you and to the right and to the left, and they drop out of the ceiling sometimes.
They crawl to these vents that you can't climb in, like these holes in the wall.
That's their home.
The
Can't go into their secret homes.
No, they're secret rooms. The worst is when you're like, so a bunch are swarming. So like, let's say you run into a corner or something like that. Like you're just like you get a good position, and then fucking where you're standing, you look down. And it's like, oh man, they're crawling out of that hole.
They're coming out of the hole. Yeah.
Oh man, they're coming right there. So games, man.
And your health will
regenerate
in this game if you can
stay alive,
not get friggin' killed. But no, I love the co-op, I think, more than the single player.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt. Like I said, I do kind of wish that there was some of the same limited story element, but I can see why not either.
Nope. I'll take the sacrifice for the ability to play.
Yep. It's better than not having it at all.
Yep. That's kind of my attitude with it.
All right. So do you want to get into our final thoughts and our rating on it?
Go for it.
Awesome. So like always, before we do that, let's take this moment to get a message from our sponsors. The people who help keep the show afloat. This podcast is brought to you by Kiwi Design. Kiwi is the leader in Oculus Quest and VR accessories. And now you can deck out your device while supporting the podcast.
The Oculus Quest 2 is a great headset. But do you ever find things could be a bit more comfortable, maybe a little safer? Well, we have the solution for you. With lens protectors, controller grips, face covers, head straps, link cables, headset stands, and so much more.
And let's be real, we've all whacked our controller. You don't want to be that guy messaging Oculus support for your own mistake or waiting weeks for an out-of-stock controller. Visit the link in our show notes now to prepare yourself today.
And you don't need to sacrifice comfort for cost either. Kiwi is constantly running promotions of 20, 25, and even 30% off.
Just visit the link in our show notes and use the promo code on their website to take full advantage of your savings. And be sure to follow the link in our show notes so we get credit and you help support the podcast. And remember, Kiwi has you covered for all your VR needs.
Hey's everybody. Father's Day's just around the corner, and our friends at Manscaped are here to ensure that all the father figures out there are looking like daddy material this June. Manscaped's Performance Package 4.0, which includes their signature Lawnmower 4.0, is the perfect bundle to tackle any and all old man hair from head to toe. This right here is no dad joke. Treat him and yourself and join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped. With this exclusive offer, get 20% off plus free shipping with the code Ruff Talk VR at manscaped.com. Trust me, his dad bod will thank you. You know, I got a funny story for you. Not too long ago, I walked in on my dad in the bathroom and I caught a glance of his shit, and the bush was like something out of the 70s, dude. It was nuts. That man needs Manscaped products. It is designed with fathers in mind, and the Performance Package 4.0 is here just in time for your pop's special day. Inside this package, he'll find the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear, hair, and nose trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold his goodies. First off, let me start by saying the Lawnmower 4.0 will be the official MVP of Father's Day. Their 4th generation trimmer features a fucking cutting edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 is waterproof and also has a 400K LED spotlight he needs for more precise shave. Does your pops use the same trimmer for his body and face? We know mine doesn't. Remember my bush story? Let's throw all that out the window and give him the upgrade he deserves. So to all the pops out there, make sure you buy this for yourself. For the sons, buy this for you and your pops. Ladies, you know you want to buy this for your man. And dog daddies, you deserve this treat too. Yous can get 20% off plus free shipping with the code RuffTalkVR at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code word RuffTalkVR. Shake what your mama gave you? Nah, shake what your daddy gave you.
So, if this is your first time, actually listening to the podcast, first off, I'll say subscribe, rate us 5 stars. But besides that, our review system goes into 5 different categories, ranked 1 to 20 in each category, with the final score of all the categories added up being the total score. So, our categories are gameplay, aesthetics, functionality, replayability, and value. So, I'll start, starting with gameplay. I'm going to give them a 20 on gameplay. I could see the volley back and forth mentally of 15, 20, but for a game that was made in 2019 as a zombie game, for zombie standards in VR, it's holding up in 2022. I gotta give them a 20 on that. They have dual wielding weapons, which I don't dual wield, by the way, just because ammo is limited. If I was dual wielding pistols, same reason I don't use the Uzi pistol, I'm gonna blow through all my ammo, but you have the option to. There's a variety of different weapons. It's fun killing zombies. You shoot them in the head, it explodes. You can even kill them, and then I'll walk over with a melee weapon. Or you can shoot them again, but again, limited ammo. So you can kill them, and you walk over the melee weapon, and you continue to whack their head. Their head will explode. Like, the gameplay's fun. There's a lot of interactable stuff. Yeah, I'm giving them a 20. Aesthetics, though, I'll give them a 15. It's nothing bad. It's nothing like, this is a 5 or a 10. Doesn't work with the vibe or the atmosphere. There was a couple times in single player, I got spooked. So I got to give them a 15 on aesthetics. It's not knock your socks off graphics. It's not like, oh my God, this is so detailed. I can't believe they got it up and running on the quest. There's also there's a lot of enemies, but they come in waves. It's not like overwhelming, like they have 30 enemies at once. How do they get this running? So aesthetics, I'm gonna give them a 15, but it's good. They knock the zombie horror vibe. They check it off. Functionality, I'll give them a 20 as well. I did have one glitch, and I was thinking to myself, I gotta bring it up, and it's weird for it to not reflect this glitch in the final score, but really it was one glitch in hours of playing the game, and to be honest with you, it was so fucking funny that I don't even care about it. I've actually wished I could recreate it. One time we were playing co-op, and I don't even know what happened. We were in the checkpoint room. We scanned our cards to start. The door opened. I pulled out my pistol, and it just spazzed out. And it was shooting
oh yeah,
dude, it was shooting 30 rounds a second. It was
unlimited ammo too.
And then so I drop it out of my hand, what's going on? And then it just starts bouncing all over the room, shooting everywhere. I'm fucking hysterically dying laughing. It won't let us open up the door, but here's the thing. Because I didn't know what happened, when we opened up the door and my gun started shooting a bunch, I stepped backwards, and that's when it closed. I wish I could recreate this glitch so I could load in, go through that door, and see if I would have infinite ammo through the whole level. We had to exit out of the round and restart, but I was pissing myself laughing. And it wasn't even a major glitch, anything like that. It was funny. Happened one time in hours. I can't knock them any points on that. If it's a glitch that I want to do again, I can't negatively, hit them there. So I'm actually gonna give them a 20 on functionality. The game works overall really good. Replayability, I'll give them a 15. The co-op story's cool. I'm probably not going to run through that a whole bunch of times with you, but what's cool is even though we've played through it, I mean, I there might be a day that I'm like, hey, you want to play this one? And like, we will, so it's got a little bit of replayability, but not enough where there's no challenges in the co-op that I'm going to always go back to it. But even in the single player, they have those, like I said, those challenges. There's a little bit to keep you coming. Not enough to get a full 20, but, also not enough that I'm going to hit them with a really low score. So I'm going to give them 15 on replayability. And value, I'll give them 20. The game's $19.99. I got a good amount of playtime in it between the single player and the co-op. So I'd say it was worth the money. So 20, 15, 20, 15, 20. Total 90. 90 out of 100.
That's damn good.
Yeah, for a game that came out in 2019, not bad at all.
No, they're the OG that keeps going. They don't seem to be slowing down either. So that's what is blowing my mind to an extent. Almost identical scores, if not identical, which I'll get to. Gameplay, I mean, dude, we've had this for so long. And it's not ever, like I said before, it's never digressed. It's always been fun. Of course, we both enjoy the co-op better than the single player, but if you're in a single player, they give you more than enough to go on. So I give them a 20. Aesthetics, agreed. Not the most poppin' graphics in the world, but definitely not, they're not janky. They're not, like cartooned. It's like, it's just not bad. It's just not great. So what are you going to do? But they've surpassed the middle ground of good graphics. So a 15 seems definitely fair. Functionality, man, I give them a 20. I won't gig them for your thing. I didn't even remember it until you started talking about it. But holy crap, that was the best. We tried so hard to get that glitch to happen again, just so we could use it in our favor.
Or even just continue the level without quitting. We had to quit the level,
Yeah,
but we did
man.
not want to quit. Like that, we were fucking pissing
like,
ourselves.
We have to be able to let this happen because it was unlimited. The door opened and it was like you full autoed a pistol. It's like, what the hell?
And then it started bouncing around the room.
Oh, your arms were spinning around, but we were like instantly knew we could use this to our advantage if we could get the door to open. So let's try to open the door, but we couldn't do it. So I don't even know what the hell that was, but it was hysterical. But functionality, a 20. Look, you're walking, you're climbing. The only thing you're not doing this is flying. But everything else you're doing, you're using a rope, you're going hand over hand, and it all functions properly. You're opening cabinets.
Climbing in vents.
Yeah, you're climbing in vents. You're putting attachments onto your weaponry, and they're nice enough to highlight it so you know where it goes. But it all functions. It's not like you put the grip on and it falls to the floor. So a 20. Replayability is where like I'm on that weird cusp of like, is it a 15 or is it really a 20 to me? Because they keep coming out with little changes that are either subtle enough to get you to come back and see what's up or monumental enough that you're going to go, oh, they got chapter 5 coming. So it's like if you knew that they were going to continue to pump out chapters and such, which I'd actually rather see them just make a whole brand new game. But I can't disagree with what you said, so I'd go the 15. But when they do drop something, it's and I think you mentioned it, we're gonna play it. It's like we're not gonna ignore it. So it's that weird cusp. You could go either way. And value for money, out of the park. Come on, if you had bought this, I guess on a Quest 1, and then you bought a Quest 2, and you were able to carry that over, it's like you've been on an awesome ride for $20. If this was an investment, it's done nothing but win. So same score, a 90.
And I could see the argument for a 20 on replayability
Yeah,
too.
it's weird, dude. It's like
But I think if they had the challenges for co-op mode as well.
Yeah,
I think
if it was cut down, then it's a no-brainer. But it's like even without
I see
it,
the
I'm
argument
on that weird.
when a game is like it. if there's an update, I'm playing it. It's like, I kind of
Because
gotta
I'm
give
like,
this high
it
score.
is it's not making me replay it per se, but it's making me come back to it.
Yeah, I can't.
But if you bought it, and this is kind of what pushed me a little, is like, okay, let's say Chapter 5 comes and that's the day you bought it. It's going to be a long time before you,
Yeah,
so I don't know how much.
I think 15's a fair score, but I don't think that somebody could criticize for 20 on this one.
No.
Especially when you see there's leaderboards for everything, so you can finish the whole story, but be like,
And as more of your friends are getting VR and shit, and they pick it up, it's just more
Yeah, like, hey,
opportunity
check
to
out
play.
this game.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
I'll
can
play
play
it
through
with you.
yeah.
Help them out a little. Like, no, you need to go in there.
And shame on us for not mentioning this. There's save files, so you can have a couple different save files, and there's difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
There's easy, normal, and I think 2 others. So it's like,
No, and we didn't.
We just left on normal.
Yeah, we didn't do it on easy.
We just left. I think we left on normal.
We don't ever do it on. I think there's one we're doing where it's not it's like the second to hardest. It's like not the easiest.
Yeah, we're playing, because it got voted in the user poll, so we're playing Green Hell.
Holy crap!
And like you load into Green Hell, and there's 4 difficulties.
I actually tried to persuade you to
go the easiest. Well, the easiest ones, there's no like macronutrients. There's no
I
like
know.
predators.
I know.
And like,
I knew when I saw the layout, I'm like, this is gonna be hard as hell.
It's not till the second to hardest one that it's like actually that you get the full game experience, and then there's one harder after that. Well, I'm like, well, if we're reviewing it,
we need the full. I know.
We have to have the hostile tribes, the predators, So
it's all good.
Sometimes, unfortunately, when you're playing a game personally, you play it on the easiest the first time just to plow through it, but you can't always do that when you're reviewing a game because you're not being honest with what the actual game. Yeah.
I just knew. I didn't know. Well, we'll talk about it when we talk about the game, I guess. But no, hats off to this studio because we've owned it for a long time and we're talking about it today. So I want Chapter 5,
Yeah, and what I kind of referenced too, I guess.
And Chapter 4 is no picnic. It's not.
Yeah,
that's not easy at all.
No, Chapter 4 can.
It's not.
Fuck off, man. There's a boss in there that's
it's not
a boss.
Easy.
He's a boss.
It's not even funny, man.
So yeah, have fun with that one. Jesus.
Yeah, and I hope that the development team is able to sort things out and.
Yeah. So what I'm curious is when I said that I saw, them posting information about the update like 10, 20 days ago, I'm wondering if that was old information,
just recycling,
or if they are back at work, either way, all the best to Dream Dev Studio, the unfortunate situation, but hopefully, we continue to see this high quality work out of them. I know you mentioned you want to see another game, not even Chapter 5. It's like, yeah, this game studio can pump out some good content. So I'm curious what other things that they're working on besides, just Death Horizon. They're definitely a team I would love to talk to.
Oh, yeah. Be interesting to find out.
Oh, yeah. So, and when we talked about, a moment ago, because I don't think we've even talked about this on the podcast, on any of the other episodes, when I said, like, user voted episode with Green Hell, we're reviewing Green Hell in a couple weeks because on our subreddit and Discord, which, you guys should, besides rating our podcast 5 stars and subscribing, you should also join our podcast communities. They're a lot of fun, man. We do giveaways. We get community input. You can really help, change the podcast a little bit. Sometimes we'll be like, hey, let's do a user request episode. We did the first one ever of that. And, we had a week of, nominations.
Voting.
Yeah, well, first we let people, comment a bunch of games, so like kind of nominate. Then I took all the nominations. We made a poll of them that stayed open for a week. Of course, there was a tie. So it was between Green Hell and Ancient Dungeon. So then we made another poll with just those 2, and Green Hell won for the first ever, listener request episode. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, so we do community events, so definitely join those.
Giveaways, always doing something.
So if you want to, request episodes, maybe vote next time, all that stuff, join us there. Discord, subreddit, it's a lot of fun. So other than that, anything else you want to talk about with Death Horizon?
No, I look forward to, crazy that they're doing updates, but I look forward to their next one.
Yeah, no, huge props to them. Games.
I mean,
good.
We'll reach out to them regardless. But
yeah, selfishly, I know it might ruin the vibe, but to me, co-op mode's already more funny than scary. I don't think meta avatars would work in single player, but for co-op, I want meta avatars. Dude, it'd be fucking funny.
The day's gonna come where You know, we're gonna have to review some horror games, like straight out, balls deep horror games, and I don't know any that are co-op. Right?
I know.
I'm so glad that.
Here's the thing, though. If I'm home alone,
I'm scared of horror games.
I'm
not gonna lie. I love them.
I love
them
too.
on desktop because I can look over and see people. But
exactly.
It's like I'm not. You could be behind me if I have a VR headset on.
Well, I want people home. I don't want to put a headset on, vulnerable to a home intruder or whatever, home alone. I don't mind doing that with a boxing game, whatever. But if I'm playing a non-scary game and I hear something drop in the other room and I'm home alone with a headset, I'm probably taking the headset off and stopping playing.
Yeah.
You know? Let alone playing a horror game home alone.
Horror game.
When it's time to review the horror games, I'm playing those when the girlfriend's home. Like, I'm not playing those home alone. You can go. And I'm playing those with you in party chat because I've noticed horror games, even single player horror games are a little less scary if we're doing on party chat.
Well, yeah, man. It'd be like if someone was breaking into your house, and the difference between, like, how much better would I feel if I had, like, somebody on the other end of a phone I could talk to versus, I'm running from what game was I saying I don't ever want to see come out for the Quest 2? Outlast.
Oh, Outlast, yeah.
Outlast.
Yeah,
because if it comes out, I want to be on it quick.
Yeah,
but
you've never even been in it for the console.
No,
because it's too scary. So how are you going to do that in VR?
Dude, it's just wrong.
I'll do it for the podcast. I'll finish it.
I'll definitely do it for the podcast, but it's gonna scare It's actually like probably gonna be the scaredest I've ever been in VR.
Okay, so here's the thing. The longer I play VR, the more like desensitized I get to the scary a little bit. Like when we first played this game, when we first got the Quest, it was much more scary than it is now to me. In the same way, like the first time when I first got the Quest and I fired up Saints and Sinners, it was like, whoa, it's not going to be like that now. Mm-hmm. I'm getting used to it. Don't come at me with some Outlast nonsense that now I'm not used to it again. If they come out with Silent Hill in VR, I know the Silent Hill franchise is kind of dead in the water due to, internal things and whatnot, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, and What If Land?
That would be some scary shit. I remember that they released this demo called PT on the PS3. I got my PS3, right? I'm playing it. I'm in high school. They have this free demo. It's called PT. It was supposed to be an upcoming Silent Hill game that got canceled and never became anything. But it was like a 10-minute demo. And that is one of the fucking scariest horror experience games I've ever played. In that 10 minutes. And I've seen some people like port the PT experience in VR, and you can do it on your PC with PC VR and all that stuff. But I'd love an official Silent Hill game. Silent Hill is some scary shit.
No, I think we're going to have to do some horror.
Yeah.
Just to bite the bullet.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, it's my least...
I like happy co-op games. I want to play board games.
I love horror
Local
games
Dojo,
on platform, but something about the conceptually horror games in VR, I don't know. We'll see.
It's different.
I can't wait to talk about one.
All right, so we kind of got a little off topic there, but nonetheless, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Subscribe, rate us 5 stars, join the subreddit, and check you out next week.
Talk to you soon.